Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel Travel with Brittany. I'm Brittany and today we're heading to Portland, taking the St. Thomas route, and I thought it would be a good idea to make a video about the Southern Coastal Highway. So starting from Bull Bay, St. Andrew, you can see where the construction begins, and this video was recorded October 15, 2023. So I assume those visiting Jamaica coming from Norman Manley International Airport might see constructions maybe November or December. And just keep in mind that it causes a lot of traffic because coming from the airport, it's a single lane. Well, no, it is. So the Southern Coastal Highway improvement project started in 2017 and construction is being executed in three parts, with St. Thomas Lake forming two of the three parts. The first, which includes Morant Bay, Long Road, and two roads from Cedar Valley to Portland, which are expected to be finished this year. So, the Harbour View to Yallahs Road will fall on the second part of the project. Many residents in St. Thomas are very enthusiastic about the possibility of the road because they are thinking of property development, job opportunities, and tourism prospects. And I can see where this will happen because I've never been through St. Thomas before, and heading there, it is actually very beautiful. I believe it has a lot of potential to become a big tourist spot in Jamaica if everything is executed properly. So here is the road heading to, or the highway heading to St. Thomas. And speaking of property development, which I mentioned earlier, it is on the rise in St. Thomas, and one of which is a major resort style gated community that is a multi-billion-dollar 90-acre beachfront property called Suncoast Beach Club, and it will be 12 miles Bull Bay with a mix of residential options comprising of townhouses, villas, duplexes, and luxury condominiums. So, thinking of that, you can just hoping that there will be so much influx of business in St. Thomas and creating more jobs in St. Thomas, and I'm really enthusiastic about that myself because I've heard that St. Thomas is one of the least developed parishes in Jamaica, and it's good to know that they'll have a boost and that the residents there can profit from development that is happening without having to probably come to Kingston for that. So I can't wait to see what is going to happen in St. Thomas. As you can see, the construction activity is still heavy and there are a lot of trucks that are carrying materials. So this increases the traffic in this area. And we went on a Sunday, so I can just imagine the weekdays, how hectic or how highly trafficked it is. So if it is that you're heading there, just keep that in mind that you might have a long traffic area on this stretch. I mean, maybe on the highway it will get better, but then again, it's single lane. So I believe there still will be traffic. So where it says detour, you take the right, and that's where you'd head towards the highway. At first, we were a bit like, oh, where do you go? But eventually we figured it out, and obviously you'd go on this stretch. I appreciated how scenic the route was, something just catching my eyes left and right. If it's not the mountain, it's the sea. And I could see myself as a tourist just appreciating the beauty of Jamaica while driving on this highway, and perfect for nature lovers and adventure enthusiasts, along with persons who just want to experience a different side of Jamaica than Ocho Rios and Montego Bay. I'm a big advocate for the entire Jamaica being a tourist attraction and not just these two main sections, or not just the north coast, because Jamaica has a lot of beauty. And I know I'm ranting on right now, but I believe that tourism minister in their portfolio, they need to try to expand what tourism or tourist attractions look like in Jamaica. Because yes, the Dun River Falls is nice, and yes, the Yallahs Falls is nice, but there's so much more to see here, and it should be promoted. On this stretch, we have a scenic route coming up, and there's a sign to tell you when, and here it is. And this view, if you know the view that I'm going to talk about, just tell me in the comments when you're going to Ocho Rios, and then you just come up on this section where you can just see the beautiful Caribbean Sea. Yeah, it reminds me of this. Maybe it's less greenery, but it does remind me of this. But this is beautiful. I can't believe this is what we have been missing out on, going to Portland or St. Thomas. It's actually breathtaking. For now, you can only use the left side of the road for both vehicles, as they're still working on the right side. So now we are in Yallahs. So this is the section that they said is the second part of the project. So based on what I'm reading, I'm assuming that it's not going to be completed this year, but maybe the following year. But bear in mind, I'm getting this information from a March 2023 article. But I mean, we can just say it's more than likely true by looking at the road. It's definitely not going to be completed this year. What I should have included as well is that driving from St. Thomas to Portland, a lot of tourists love Portland. So it's definitely an incentive to stop by. And there are a lot of jerk chicken and soup places to stop by. If you guys still eat on the road after the incident at Hero Circle. We are coming across the Yallahs Pond, which is a two-salt pond that lies to the east of the Yallahs Fording. The pond is incredibly salty, and apparently residents of the Green Bay fishing village profit from this by selling the salt, which formed from the froth of the pond. Now, in 1902, it was reported that the aroma of the pond was so bad that it could be smelled from Kingston. However, channels were cut linking the ponds to the open sea, which has greatly reduced the smell. I can't recall smelling anything, even though windows were wound up and it was AC. Sometimes a scent can be so bad you smell it through the AC. I don't recall smelling anything. So the history behind this pond, there are several stories, and this is how rumors and mix-ups start. One of the stories is that two brothers were quarreling over the right to inherit the land, that it sank under the weight of the disagreement. Oh, please. And another story is that an older brother was married to a woman, and one afternoon after he traveled to Kingston on business, his wife and his brother slept together. And upon hearing of this news, the older brother began to cry himself to death, and his tears fell into two salt puddles that drowned both the wife and the brother. I mean, if you want to believe any of those stories, you can go ahead, but a more scientific story or explanation behind the ponds forming is that a landslide occurred 1692 after the popular earthquake in Port Royal. I don't know which one you want. Which one is more believable to you? I don't know, but I'll go with the earthquake one. That sounds more logical. We are now at Roach Gully, and you can see we made a wrong turn. This road is still blocked off. They're still working on it. They made an alternative route, which is a single lane. And for this route, you can see they're still cutting away at it and doing the necessary work. This road is actually a steep corner to turn, so please be careful. It's like spur tree. And along this route, you can see major work is still being done. So we're still off, and this road is a bit better. I believe construction is finished here. And then boom, we're here on this road, and a lot more work to be done. On our right, we can see the beautiful Caribbean Sea, and they haven't paved this road off as yet, and it's still a single lane. We're coming upon a roadside waterfalls on our left that is called Roselle Waterfall, and typically persons just stop and take a wash off. It's very seasonal, so you won't always see water flowing from it. Currently in the historical city of Morant Bay, and I call it historical because of the crucial part it played in Jamaica's independence because of the Morant Bay Rebellion in 1865, led by Paul Bogle. I'd like to know your thoughts on the project. I believe it's long overdue for the residents of St. Thomas, and based on discussions I have heard, it always seems like St. Thomas is the forgotten parish of Jamaica, and I'm happy for the residents and for an $18 billion project that is boasting about its safety and efficiency and that it's free from flooding. I really can't wait to see how this benefits St. Thomas residents.